I don't know if she emailed this or tweeted this, but I wrote down her name is Emily414, so that's what I'm going to call her. So this is her topic or her question. In the first games, when Peeta is running with the careers, they kill the girl who started the fire below Katniss's tree, but her cannon doesn't sound, so they send Peeta back to finish her off. Do you think he killed her, and if so, how? I have always had this idea that she was near death anyway, and when Peeta went back to her, he held her hand while she died. I know there's no evidence for that, but it just seems like the sort of thing Peeta would do, doesn't it? Someone on Tumblr suggested he fed her nightlock because it was painless. This would mean that he had to know what nightlock was and that he was acting later on when he almost eats it and Foxface dies. Seems like a bit of a stretch to me. I'm curious to have your take on it. So who wants to go first? Do you think that Peeta went back and killed the girl who started the fire, or do you think he held her hand while she died since she was already near death?
I've always thought of it as a blend of the two, that she was close to death and he was in a way putting her out of her misery. So, he helped her to pass because, I think she was near death anyway. So I think he just I always just kind of thought that he just, I don't want to say finished her off, but put her out of her misery and where she was at, because I'm pretty sure when they got her the first time, they didn't leave her in any good condition. So I have to feel that she was kind of close anyway.
Yeah. Courtney, what were you going to say?
I'm not sure if that was the first time Peeta killed somebody or was around that, but he either held her hand or did both, or, did put her out of her misery as gently as he could possibly do, because I'm sure on the inside he was like, I have to kill this girl, or the careers are going to kill me if, I don't do this. So, but I'm sure I've heard that theory on Tumblr a lot. I know a lot of people think that. I don't think the nightlock thing is true, because that's kind of a stretch, but I definitely think that he probably put her out of her misery and as gently as he could.
And I wonder what that would be, like, what would be gentle? Smothering her? Like, with, I don't know. I can't picture him, like, cutting her throat or something.
I guess it just depends what kind of state she was in when he got to her.
Yeah. Either way, I mean, I'm sure that was a really horrible moment for him. Adam, do you think that he did kill her, or do you think that she was already pretty much dead and that he just kind of stayed with her?
I think he stayed with her. No way. We know he was acting and putting on a show for the careers, but at the same time, this is the same Peeta who said, I still want to be me. I don't want them to tell me who I am. So that Peeta would never do such a thing.
Well, I think you could argue that putting a girl out of her misery and not letting her suffer is also part of Peeta's personality.
That's true. I could buy that. So you're saying you think this did happen?
Well, because, what are her choices? Either she dies by him gently, or the careers go back and finish her off and laugh at her as she dies. I think he did it in his own way, and, it's still him, even though he did something bad.
I agree. I don't think he went back there and, bludgeoned her to death or something like that, but I think that he probably did kill her. Again, there's no gentle way to kill someone, but in a less horrific way, because he was trying to do the right thing, and he knew that she wasn't going to live no matter what he did, and that trying to save her in any way would just make it a lot worse for him.
Yeah, I agree with that. I can picture him maybe using something to smother her with. Just because if she was already that close to death, it wouldn't take, that long. I don't think he would have. I'm not even sure what weapon he had with him at that point. I think he would have done it in a very, I say in a caring way, and his caring as caring as he could possibly be. That's what I was trying to say.
I don't think he was gone that. I think in the books he's not gone that long, so there's not a whole lot of time. I don't think that she was just like almost dead and then she just happened to die when Peeta got back to her, because he came back to the careers fairly quickly. So I think that is probably what happened.
I don't necessarily think that the method is all that important, because if it was me and I knew I was going to die and I was just sitting there dying slowly, I wouldn't really care if it was through a knife or through smothering. I just want it over with. So, I mean, we see in movies and TV shows and stuff like that all the time, like mercy killings, right?
Yeah.
And they don't always have something to smother someone quietly with. You know, sometimes it's a knife, sometimes it's a gun. And to that, I mean, and when you're watching that scene, it's just, oh, it's fast. And they're not doing it out of malice. They're doing it out of pity and sympathy. So I think the intent is what matters more than the method.
That was a solid comment.
Very solid.
Solid.